following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
And I was like, yes, hi. I was so excited.
Oh, we said hi. Give me the hi again.
Okay, hi.
A guy get to a point and he asks you to marry him, he really wants to marry you.
Mm-hmm.
Like he really feels like, you know what, she's the one. She's the one.
You already getting the goods. You got to pay for it. Bring me the ring and get on one knee.
Okay.
Or two.
You need time to observe someone and really get a sense of how well do they treat you, how well do they handle adversity.
You're not the one because you don't have the grit, the perseverance. You ain't really want me because you ready to give up.
Yep.
Because I said no. Nah, you shouldn't have asked. But since I said no, now it's your job to stay in the game and try to fight for it.
Boy, on 5 Heartbeats, so you make the announcement you're going solo at the awards ceremony.
What's up? What's up? What's up? We're gonna have to explain what a mute button is for some of our co-hosts. But right. It's all to the good. How y'all doing? This is your boy Al. And if you're a little surprised to hear my voice kicking off the show, it's all good. I am standing in for my better half. So I'll be flying solo as the host tonight. Well, not solo because she usually flies solo. So I'll be doing it for her. I'll be the stand-in. And I'm looking forward to it because this is the highlight of my week in doing this One Eye Shut show. So happy One Eye Shut day to all y'all listeners. Appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have had a good holiday. And we looking forward to this conversation tonight. We took a week off, so we apologize for those who are used to hearing us on a regular basis. But, it was the holiday, it was Turkey Day, and we just decided to just enjoy each other, enjoy our families. So it's good to be back. So that being said, how y'all doing, folk, fam? Everybody doing good? My co-host, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Good. Nice. Good to hear y'all voices. Before we get started, Cuz, if you could help me with the house cleaning and take care of that.
Yeah, man. Like always, we want to appreciate our patrons. This week's patron of the week is Roz Lorick, Kim's better half. Kim's better half. So shout out to you, Roz. Thanks for your support. People are always asking, how do we support the network? Go to patreon.com/Go Defy Life, and you can support the Defy Life Podcast Network. So thank you to our patrons. As far as where you can hear us, check us out at defylifepods.com. You can also check us out on any of your other major or minor podcast listening platforms. Wherever you want to check us out, we're everywhere. Just check out the One Eye Shut Pod. And you can find us on social media at One Eye Shut Pod. And you can email us at info@godefylife.com. I think that's everything.
Good job, brother, man.
Oh, and you can also find our T-shirts, our branded apparel at defylifegear.com. Go buy you a One Eye Shut tee.
Actually, go buy that sweatshirt.
Oh.
That Defy Life Network hoodie. I need that for New Year's. Like, I'm gonna be rocking that. That's kind of dope. Feeling that. So, I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing good. Bringing this show in as a solo is different. Like, it's looking over here to my right, not seeing my wife is kind of strange doing this show. Even though we do it every week on the Defy Life joint. So this is going to be a nice experience. So let's start it off with the day. Let's go with, let me pick on my boy from the Bronx, Ladine. What's your word of the day?
You always come to me, Al. What's
Come
happening?
to you. You know what it is. You should have been ready. What's your word of the
I should
day?
have been ready. Oh my God. Well, hello everyone. My word of the day. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed with my husband. He started with me before we started the show, and I'm annoyed. But I'm okay. I'm gonna be just fine. Today I had a really good day. Yes, my husband gets on my nerves, y'all. He absolutely drives me insane. He gets on my nerves. He complains to me about the stupidest things, and of course to him I complain about the stupidest things. So, he got on my nerves and I'm annoyed. But other than that, I'm good. I'm feeling a lot better. I took a week off of work before Thanksgiving, the week of my birthday, and it felt really good. I was able to get a lot done in the house. I was able to clean. I was able to clean my carpets. I don't know about a lot of other people, but I know for me, having my space neat, tidy, in order, organized, just clean, period, and, maintained really does a lot for me. It does a lot for my mental health. And just really, when it comes to, cleaning the carpets, like really just cleaning out the energy and the space in the home, it just, I don't know. It brings brings new life, I feel like, into the home. So I felt really good. I was able to just have that time off. And even though I didn't really get like me time. I didn't get to do like the meditation I wanted to do. I didn't get to do all of that stuff, but just getting the house cleaned out. And I'm still not completely done. It's like every day there's more stuff to do. There's like a pile of stuff here I still got to finish, or a pile of stuff there I got to go, into and finish. But the main pieces are good. And so I was able to take out some of the Christmas decorations and decorate for Christmas. And that felt really good too, because we decided not to like really do a big Christmas tree this year. So it worked out. And I'm not one of those people, I know some people, they take their Christmas stuff and they just throw it out, or they buy new stuff every year, right? I don't do that. I keep everything. I'm not a ridiculous hoarder, but I keep my stuff, especially stuff I spend good money on. I maintain it well, I keep it well, I store it well. So yeah, other than that, I'm feeling so much better. I was so down for a while. Just in a really ugly place. So I'm feeling so much better. So I'm annoyed with JR right now in this moment, but I'm also just really content with what's happening with Ladine. So yeah.
Good to hear. Definitely, I can feel a different energy coming through the speaker. So feels good. That's good to hear you.
Thanks, Boo.
Yep. Birthday boy, Thomas. What's your word of the day?
Yeah, what's good?
Happy birthday to ya.
What?
Happy birthday to ya.
One more time.
Happy birthday.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I really appreciate it. So, I guess my word of today is okay. I had an interview a few days ago, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was like, "How'd you do?" And I was like, "Man, I think I did great. I think I did wonderful. I think I had a wonderful interview." I said, "But really, every interview I have, I feel that way." So, my word of the day is hubris.
Damn right.
Right, hubris, my word of the day, man. I excessive pride and self confident. So today I'm gonna go with hubris.
I'm sorry.
I was Googling that word.
Oh.
But yeah, save me the trouble. What's that word mean?
Just excessive pride. It's teetering the fence of you. I mean, it's not quite conceited, but it's excessive confidence.
Feeling yourself.
Like overwhelming confidence.
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I like that.
Go ahead, Boo. I like that too.
I like that. So, JR, what's your word of the day?
Well, I'm glad my wife had that long ass intro. Give me time to pull myself out from under that bus she threw me under. But when she go low, I go high. So I am just feeling tired, man. I was off for a week. Went back to work today, and I got to be up at 4:00 in the mornings, man. So and it's different because even on days off, I'm up at 5:00 anyway. But it's different when you got to be somewhere. So I'm just tired but excited about this, man. It's my highlight of the week. I'm glad to be around y'all. Gina, we miss you. Can't wait to talk to you again next week. But the rest of y'all ain't so bad either. So glad to be here.
Nice. I tried to give you a little space to pull yourself back together, so I appreciate that you was able to go high. Good job.
I appreciate that, man.
Keita, what's up, boo? What's your word of the day? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Stop Alan, Keita.
Stop Alan, Keita.
Please stop, Alan. You know, I done brought that out at the job. I'm like, around my way, we call that Alan.
Yes, I am. But I was saying, late. Don't let Jay do that to you.
Mm-hmm. He good. Don't worry, boo. He trying to say he went high. He fine. I ain't worried about it. I'm gonna let him go higher too. No, I gotta let him go high.
I mean, I can go low if y'all want me to. I'm very good at that as well.
Yeah, stay high, Jay, so I can come up there with you. That's it.
I'm saying,
that's how we gonna
y'all treat me like a substitute teacher right now.
Right.
I ain't even mad.
Word of the day. We ain't word of the day.
Oh, word of the day. Go ahead.
Oh,
Treat me
yeah.
like a sub. Y'all ain't got to do me like that.
You've had your 17 minutes, lady.
Do I have a word of today?
Yes.
And then you waited. I was like the last one or whatever. But I want to say I feel love. Let me put it that way. I feel love, and the reason why is because my husband has told me constantly that he really enjoyed his birthday, and he's looking at me different. You know, sometimes you don't get that look, or they don't look at you being in the house like they used to when you first start dating. But he's looking at me different, so his nose is open, y'all.
That's
his nose is open.
That's what they call hubris.
I'm feeling a little love in the house.
That's what's up.
So good. I love that.
You need a little bit more love in the world, and that's beautiful.
That is nice.
Yes.
And I feel like he gave you a shout out on the show last night. I think he even mentioned
He
last
did.
night that his birthday weekend was awesome, and you had a lot to do with it. So,
oh, but that's nice.
Good job, Pudding. Good job.
Love.
And and seriously, Keita, thank you for being good to my brother, man.
Oh, well, thank you, Jay. That's sweet.
Nice. My word of the day is grateful. And I am grateful. I mean, coming out this past holiday, a lot of time we all spend on just thinking about what we're grateful for and just giving thanks. And so definitely grateful to be doing this podcast, have some amazing co-hosts. Thankful, grateful to be with my wife and all that she does, and thankful to have a family that just appreciates a brother and appreciates what I do. So just grateful to be here. So my segue now is into this grateful holiday. And some people are actually calling it like Grateful Day, like they've kind of, I guess, trying to move away from how Thanksgiving is associated with this myth of pilgrims coming to help, and they've kind of renamed it, which I did not know, but I'm kind of cool with that. But we had an amazing Thanksgiving, considering, and I say considering because it was different. And typically my Thanksgivings are 3, 4, 5 day long. They are like a weekend. That's kind of what my Thanksgivings have been, spent with family. And the Thursday is just the beginning. So when Thursday night came around and I'm sitting around watching a game with my son, and let's not even go there, but I looked around and I'm like, yo, Thanksgiving is over. Like, this it. Like, in normal years, this is just the appetizer. Like we out somewhere and sitting around talking, telling lies, and we still got Friday, Saturday to go.
Right.
This it. And I was like, is this how most people spend their Thanksgivings? Wow, this is not what I usually do. So, but that being said, even though it was different, it was still good. So I'm curious to hear from y'all. How was y'all's Thanksgiving? Just generally speaking, how'd they go? Let's go with the Stevens. How was y'all Thanksgivings?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we're not having a good night with the mic. I'm pressing and it's not working. So, you know what? Our Thanksgiving was really good. As always, I gotta shout out my sister because we're the ones that actually plan all the time for our family because we've lost a lot of our, like elderly, like aunties and stuff, and so we gotta take on the role of Thanksgiving for our family. So we decided so every year we come up with a theme because we hate to be eating the same food all the time. Not knocking, but a lot of people like the same food, but we don't. So last year we had African, and this year we decided to do like Greek. And so and then with the Greek, we came up with the idea, well, none of us pledged Greek like in college. Let's just do HBCUs to represent my auntie, who was the first that actually graduated in our family at Clark Atlanta University, at Clark Atlanta College University. And so we all had our T-shirts. I didn't go to HBCU, but all my sister and everybody else put on their little HBCUs or whatever, and we just had a good time with our Greek food. And it was funny because since we had to do the work, after we ate, what time we went to sleep? We didn't play no games. We didn't do anything. Oh, yeah. Everybody was knocked out.
Now that's some good eating right there.
That was some good eating. No, but we probably was tired because we was preparing so much. But we went to sleep, around about 10? It was crazy. Everybody was knocked out sleeping on the couch.
And shout out to Tess for making a surprise appearance.
Yeah. Shout out to Tess and Callie. She had her helmet on. That was so funny.
Oh, wow.
Tess is wild.
Yeah, that was funny.
So I don't want to second that. I had a great time as well. My Keita threw me a curveball though because.
Oh goodness.
I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there.
Go ahead.
Okay. Because I'm that guy that really doesn't like to spend the night like.
You said that on the last show.
More than one night. I said that last. You know what? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna rehash it then. I'm good, guys. We're good.
No, but go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
You brought it up. You better say it.
I'm saying, speak your peace, speak your truth, my brother.
I mean, I'm just not the guy that like to stay multiple nights, at anyone's home, So, Keita was like, yeah, we going to Mama's. I want to wake up there and cook, and I was like, wait a minute, wake up there? So you want to go tonight? You want to go Wednesday night? And she was like, yeah, we about to go. And I was like, all right. And she was like, yeah, we leaving Saturday morning. I was like, Saturday morning? Dude, that's like a whole week. What are we doing? So I really
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's just 3 nights.
That's them a lot of nights to me. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time, like I would just drive back. Or I'll stay one night and come on back, but I really don't like to stay. It's almost like it suffocates me, like I can't even breathe. But
it was
anywhere, or like you don't like doing that anywhere, or you just don't like doing that, spending nights more than one night there.
I mean, it's just like I could do it at a hotel.
Family.
I could do that. I could do it at a hotel just because I don't feel. I guess because I feel like I'm imposing. You know what I'm saying?
Family.
I even feel that way about my mom's. Like I just feel like I'm imposing, and I just don't like to feel like I'm imposing. That's just how I am, I guess.
You like being yourself and just kind of just
Right,
feeling constrained a
right. I
little
like
bit.
going in the fridge. I want to go in the fridge, and even though they don't mind, because I was like, hey, because I was like, because I called Keita mom, Lee. I was like, Lee, you mind if it's okay if I get some lemonade? And she was like, Keita, that boy just asked me, can he get some damn lemonade at my refrigerator? And I was like, I'm sorry, it's just a habit. You know what I'm saying? I just don't.
So
feel
let me just make sure I understand. How long have you known her?
Who, her mom?
Yeah.
Oh man, long time, since like 2000. I think probably met her like 2005.
And you call her by her first name. I'm assuming that's what the Lee's for.
Oh well, that's her middle name. It's just like a
Okay,
joke.
but not
It's
Miss.
both our names Lee. Yeah.
You ain't
both.
calling her Miss something though.
No. I call her Lee. Yeah.
But you gotta ask if you can get something out the fridge.
No, I don't have to.
I know you
feel
don't.
like
So I'm saying, what's that about?
I
Talk
just
to
feel
me,
like
bro.
I have to. I don't know, man. I don't know.
She almost cursed him out, first of all.
I would too.
But I don't understand his issue with this because, I grew up with a big family. So we're used to doing everything together. That's just us. And then they give him the best treatment. Other people are on the couch or on the blow up bed. He got his own bed, y'all.
I understand what he means. I understand.
So hold on,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna come back to that because I would like to talk more about that.
But one before you deviate, Al. But if I'm at my aunt's or wherever, I still be like, yo, can I get something to drink out of the refrigerator? So it's the same. Even like if we drink and have a beer, I was like, hey, you guys mind if I drink a beer? That's just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to that.
No doubt.
I definitely want to talk more about that because at some point when you're married, you are definitely spending time at the other family's home, right? So
Right.
especially on holidays or vacations, weekends. So it's definitely a dynamic that I'm real curious to hear how it plays out in your family because it's real interesting on my side too. So let's go, Ladine, JR. How was y'all's holiday?
You got your hand raised. Go ahead.
I don't.
That's what we
I didn't
doing
even raise
here.
my hand. I don't even know how to do this. I don't know how to work this.
Y'all straight up treat me like the sub.
Right.
I'm like, they didn't prepare me for this. They got what is this?
I
What's this
don't know
orange,
why
yellow
that's like
hand?
Right.
that. What is that? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know, but go ahead, Jay.
I'm lowering your hand, by the way. All right, go ahead.
Well, so our Thanksgiving, it was spent here. We were with my sister-in-laws, at my sister-in-laws, and yeah, it's different, it's COVID time, and it was just us, and and that's fine, I guess, for the weekend, but not like for Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving with a lot of people. I love family. I do prefer everyone sitting at the table together and us all passing the food and eating together. I'm not big on buffet style dinners on holidays, so that always drives me a little crazy. But other than that, yeah, I mean it was a lot. It was a lot preparing for it. I wanted more of a traditional style Thanksgiving. My sister-in-laws did too. I think Tanya said Keisha did. So yeah, I wanted some sort of feeling of comfort and home. And so for me, traditional is what spoke to me. And I don't know, it was just a lot. It was a lot. I wasn't as excited. My mood was probably a lot more. I got exciting once I started. I got excited once I started cooking. I got excited once I was like in the groove of making the food. That started to excite me. But like coming up to it, it was just this has been a really rough year. This is a very rough time for me. Period. So yeah, I really don't want to start crying, but so this is a very rough time for me, and the reason why I had not been doing so well, one with my father-in-law passing, and my tia Josefa passing the day before he passed, and that was my grandmother's last living sibling. My grandmother had passed last December. My other grandmother had passed in May, so I lost both of like the matriarchs of my family within the last 12 months. So it's just been a lot. I lost two of my best friends within the last 2 years around this time. So this is a very emotionally like horrible time for me right now. But then my birthday is on November 20th, so it's like I love celebrating my birthday. I love getting gifts, and it's usually always the week before Thanksgiving. So again, yeah, I definitely got a lot of time off to prepare and try. I'm doing my best to get in the spirits and keep the spirits up and and really try to enjoy myself. But on the holiday itself, without being with my family, it's really hard because they're big. They're like me. We're big. We show love massively, and we're loud, and just everything we do is big. And so when you don't have that, or you don't feel that, it's just there's like always an empty space there. But other than that, I mean, it was great to be with my husband, my children, and my sister-in-laws and their family, because my niece has two little ones that, oh my God. Actually, Al's goddaughter, Al and Gina's goddaughter, Skylar, she is, God, she just brightens up the room. I mean, every time, her and Drew. And so even if you're not having a good day, when that little girl walks into the room and runs to you and hugs you, it's just like, you're going to have a good day. You're going to be okay, because just the love that she brings, I guess it is big enough to make it all better, So yeah, other than that, it was okay. I'm grateful. I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful to still be here. And yeah, it was all right.
Holidays are particularly hard, and special hug, virtual hug, love, blessings to all those who are in a space at this time of the year, from Thanksgiving to the end of the year, can be really hard for those who have lost folk. And I have lost my share. Some years are better than others. I think I, over time, have allowed the good energy, the being around family, being around love, and trying to be grateful to counterbalance what I'm going through in the sad moments of the holidays. Because, when you have histories and moments with those people, it's inevitable every year at some point you remember something and it kind of takes you back. So I feel you. I appreciate you. And it's just the holidays when you lose someone you love. My cuz, talk to me about your holiday, homie. How was your Thanksgiving?
Overall, man, it was good. Again, it's my first holiday without my dad. So, and with it being still fresh, it was different. So, when Leigh asked me what I wanted to do, I really just wanted to be with my sisters. And I didn't want anything. Not that I was glad that, not glad that it's COVID season and people can't, we can't do what we want to do, but I appreciated the smaller setting, just because I wanted something low key. And so I just wanted to be with my sisters. And so my mom wasn't traveling, and so we weren't going. They're not taking company right now. So it was just me and my siblings and, my family and my sister's family. So it was cool. And I'm not a huge Thanksgiving person as far as the food. I'm not a big turkey and stuffing person. Like I can enjoy it one day, and then it kind of dies down after day two, and I'm like, yeah, because I know it's probably going to be similar to the same thing in a month from then. So I'm always about doing different themes, especially for Christmas. So, that one time is enough for me. But I don't know. It was just weird. I was missing my Aunt Carolyn this year a lot, just because from years of her house was Thanksgiving house growing up. So just really having a lot of memories about spending Thanksgivings at her house, and really having this being the first Thanksgiving where it's kind of sunk in that she's not with us. I was missing her, and then but then like right after that, like a day after Thanksgiving, I started and finished my Christmas shopping in 2 days. And that kind of, and I'm kind of the opposite of Leia. I love giving gifts. She likes getting gifts. I love giving gifts. So once I start shopping, I get zoned in, and I'm like, ooh, they'll love this. They'll love it. So I was in a zone. You done? What was I saying? I was kind of zoned in on, finding gifts and figuring out what people would like. And it kind of hit me that was kind of, my dad liked giving like that too. He loved giving gifts. And so it kind of put me in a space to where, and lately I've kind of been in a space where I'm kind of embracing, like super embracing the things that I got from him. Whether it's that or looking just like everything. And so that was one of the things my dad loves doing was getting gifts and buying gifts and seeing people enjoy the things that he got for them or did for them. So it kind of put me in a space of really being thankful and being grateful. The original sense of Thanksgiving, as you put it, I don't think many of us celebrate it for any of those reasons. But the word itself, Thanksgiving, puts, I was definitely in that mode. So it was good.
Yeah, you brought back, as you talked about your father, you kind of brought back some of my weekend, and I talked about the good and bad moments. So I was on Facebook, shared memory as a video from Tommy's Day, where your father just was gonna have an event that just kind of showed love to folk, and we just kind of cooked and danced and played music. And I just thought that was an amazing idea coming across that. But I think I always think of him around Thanksgiving just because of all the years we went to the Chitlin Strut and in Sally, South Carolina. So
and we fired up the smoke on Saturday.
There it is, as honor. He should be.
Yeah.
But I think another good thing that happened this past holiday break was our family video, and I think that Zoom call.
Man,
so I think technology has made it easier to spend time with family, even though you're not there in their presence. But that kind of helped with the distance and not being able to be in people's presence. That Zoom call, especially all that people have been through, having 40 people on a video call was much more than I expected and seemed to be well appreciated. So what I like to kind of dive into now, as we talked about the idea of spending time at the other's family's home for a holiday. Before we get into that, what it's like, I'd also want to hear kind of how is that decision made in y'all's family, in y'all's relationship? How do y'all choose which home or whose family are we going to go to for a holiday? Let's go back to Thomas and Keita. How do y'all make that decision?
Well, typically we alternate. Like we attempt to alternate. If we do Keita's parents or whoever, grandparents, whatever holiday, we will try to do mine the next. But most of the time, my mom works or, whatever else. So we'll end up probably doing something with her fam. We'll just go down, visit my mom the day before, or you know, a few days afterwards, because she always worked on the holidays. So that's how we. If she doesn't work, we'll go ahead and automatically give that time to her. Then we'll go to her people's house the day before or the day after. So we typically alternate.
Okay.
But when the kids were kind of younger, it was kind of hard. Um, what made it probably good that both of our parents are in South Carolina, and then my dad, he travels to come to South Carolina. Um, we used to go to Thomas. We used to go to Newberry first, to Thomas' mom's first, like early in the morning, because I knew my family was gonna still be up all night. So then we used to go to them afterwards. So that used to be real tiring. Remember that?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
yeah.
And then so we kind of thought about it when the kids got a little bit older. We was like, oh man, we just gonna sit and kind of just have things not Thanksgiving, but kind of it'd be really like Christmas is the issue.
Yeah.
Because you want them to have a good time, but now we're kind of like, no, let's just enjoy our Christmas and stay home. And then now we have the grandparents come to us, kind of thing, so they can enjoy their grandkids, like opening the gifts and stuff. So
Yeah, like a lot of the times they'll come down and they'll spend
spend the
Christmas
night.
Eve, and they'll be here, as they open the gifts. They've done it a lot.
Because it gets real tiring.
So that's interesting too, because I would say maybe 3-4 years ago was the first Christmas my family spent in our own home. Like that was the first time they actually experienced opening their gifts in their own home. Like so, in our family over the years, so we've been in Georgia now almost 30 years, and over the years, I guess the rhythm we had got into was, okay, I would pick what we do for Thanksgiving, and then she would pick what we would do for Christmas. And what that ended up looking like was, for Thanksgiving, we would spend it with the Glimpse, and typically in South Carolina for the weekend, and that was my call. And then for Christmas, we would usually drive up to New York and spend it with her family, often stopping in DC, hanging with my brother for a night or two, and then kind of going all the way up to New York. And so they always opened their Christmas gifts up there. And we would often have to bring gifts with us or shop once we get there. But you're right, it is, when you're not doing it at home, it is very exhausting.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. But then I did ask them once, that year where we opened gifts here, what would they have preferred? Now that we done it, would you have preferred to have your Christmases here? And they both said they enjoyed being in New York. So coming up, living in Georgia and growing up in Georgia, they liked the idea of their Christmas was always in New York with their cousins. Hanging out with them too. So that was a decent trade-off, and it made me feel a little better as a parent, because I kind of felt like a shit, like when it dawned on me, like, damn, y'all ain't never get to do this. I've robbed y'all of this experience all y'all's life. Like, wow, that ain't right. So they made me feel a little better.
That's good. That's good.
JR, Ladine, how do y'all decide what y'all doing for your holidays?
I don't know. I mean, definitely Christmas. When the kids were little, we were kind of the opposite. We didn't travel at all for Christmas. We wanted to make sure the boys could wake up and open gifts, at home. So kind of built that tradition. And my dad would usually come, and wake up with us on Christmas morning, and so that was kind of the tradition. But any other holidays, we kind of rotate, especially when we were in Georgia, and we're a lot more, like family options for us. And since we've been here, we usually at my sister's, or if we travel somewhere, we'll travel somewhere. But we all generally wake up, here at home for Christmas, and then go wherever we're gonna go. But really no set pattern. We pretty much, kind of decide, during that time where we're gonna go, and depending on who's having what, or whether we're gonna be here. Recently it's just kind of been, let's play it by ear and see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's never easy though, because we have both of our parents are divorced, so our children have.
Yeah.
I mean, if we really break it down, they have like 8 grandparents or more. So it's a lot. I don't. It doesn't make it easy. There is no set way that we do have though, and I mean it just kind of sucks because it's like, let's say. I mean, so when the kids were little, like Jay said, it just made it easier because we wanted to stay home. It wasn't just wanting to stay home. We ain't had no money to do nothing with all that money we spent in daycare. All right, so we're going to stay home. And so it was just great because Pop was always willing to travel to come to us. And he loved being with the kids during the holidays. So it was always great that they were able to have at least one of their grandparents, with them. And I always appreciated that. But yeah, like when it comes to my family, my mom is in Florida. I haven't spent Thanksgiving with my mom in probably about 15 years or more. And it's sad and it drives me insane. And that's at her house. And then my mom's in Florida, my dad's in PA, and both of Jay's parents are in South Carolina. So when if we're going to spend the holidays in South Carolina, it's never really too difficult. We at least get to see, we would always get to see the both of them if we were in South Carolina because they're not too far from each other. So that kind of made it easy. It kind of made it easy, but at the same time, it's like, when you have to, like Keita was saying, it's exhausting when we go to South Carolina sometimes because with JR, he's really great with it. And I mean, it's beautiful, and it's given me a different way to appreciate my family because this man will see all of his aunts and uncles. And I remember when we first got together and the kids were really small, every time we went to South Carolina, he would stop and see all of them. And I remember looking at him like, yo, we cannot do this every time we come here because it's like I needed a vacation away from the vacation.
Yes, the hell we can. We got
but that's how we do it.
Right.
And it was a lot for me. It was a lot in the beginning, but I've come to appreciate it. I really have because they've become my family, and they've become most of the family that my children actually know and have gotten to spend time with. So we don't really have a set way. We do try though when we have a choice and we could say, okay, we want to do this or we want to do that. It's like, all right, if we go here for Thanksgiving or if we're with your family for Thanksgiving, can we do my family for Christmas? So we try to make it work if there's a possibility to do that. We don't have any like major big arguments or nothing crazy about the holidays though.
So I like the phrase "they've become my family" because I think as we talked about, the experience of being at your spouse's family's home, there's definitely this journey from being the other to becoming part of the family. I think that is an amazing journey because the reality is that there's this experiencing of different traditions, right? Like we do things in different families differently. There are different customs, there are different foods, whether it's the music you play or how long you are spending, or do we go visit everybody? Like I just think that's a process of trying to blend and so I'm curious to hear what's that journey been like. Thomas touched on it earlier because it's for him. I can understand it is a challenge because I like being at home. I'm definitely a person that at some point, when it's time to go, I'd rather drive at night to sleep in my bed than to just sleep in somebody else's bed and wake up in the morning and drive. Because I do like sleeping in my bed, right? But I also, I'm okay with spending time with my family extended as well. I think the benefit of us going to New York, the benefit for me was, even though we would be up visiting her family, my family was in New York too. So when I felt like getting a dose of my family, it was real easy to connect with my brother, my sisters, cousins, and when I felt like I was getting suffocated, I'd just bounce and come back in 6-8 hours the next day, whatever. So it was cool, but I think looking back, there were definitely moments where it was an adjustment period because like we are louder and there's more alcohol and there's hanging out outside and there's extended cousins coming in and out. And with her family for Christmas, it was usually just her nuclear family. So I think how I would get my glimpse in often was the Christmas Eve was often spent late night with my siblings. And we would, get a couple of bottles and order a pizza or two and enjoy Christmas Eve, which was some great memories. But now that I'm thinking about her sister, Norma, rest in peace, Norma, used to do this banging ass Christmas Eve party when we were first married. We'd go to Brooklyn and Norma would do it up. And that was a good memory to have and experience her family in a different light because Norma really had a spirit more like us. And she didn't really fit in a lot with her moms because she was the wild one, the crazy one. So I'm like, damn.
The black sheep, if you will.
Right. So I fit in well with her and enjoyed her holiday experience. And truth be told, she was the first in her family, Gina's family, to like me, accept me, embrace me because she was like, I like that crazy motherfucker. So so let me hear from Ladine. What's that journey been like as you are hanging out with the Glimpse and as you were newer in the marriage thing and becoming more comfortable with us? What was that experience like?
It's so crazy. I have to think about this because it wasn't really it wasn't like a process for me. So if someone makes me feel comfortable in their home, or I don't like the home makes me feel thing. So if someone opens their home to me and my family, for me, I know when I open my home to people, and I'm very big on this, and I think people take you opening your doors to them very lightly. And I don't take that lightly. I'm very big on that. So I feel like if I open my doors and my home to anyone, then I consider you family, or I consider you close enough that you're in my home and you're in my space. And so I allow people to get very comfortable in my home. I want people to be comfortable in my home, and I never had a problem feeling comfortable in any of my in-laws' homes. So that was definitely never a problem. My relationship with my in-laws was always from a place of love. And right now I'm strictly talking my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, and even my and even my stepfather-in-law. It's just always been love. So my mother-in-law, when I had Lincoln, I didn't meet JR's parents, so I was pregnant with Lincoln. So when
you met my mom before that.
I did meet Mama before that. Right. But my mother-in-law had come up and she was in the hospital. Right, babe? It was it Mama that came up right after? It was Mama that came up, and then my mom came up after Mama, right?
All right.
Yeah. So Mama had come up, and she helped Jay get the house together and clean up, and she took care of me after I had my son. And that was a very big deal for me. And then from the moment I met Pop, he always embraced me with a different kind of love. And so, um, I really believe that that's what has made it so difficult with me, because with him not being here, because there was a place that a woman held that he respected and he understood. And he made sure, and he gave me that respect. And I can't explain the security that gave me until he's no longer here. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. But so my in-laws have always embraced me. That was never a problem. And then once I met the rest of the family, the only thing that is very different is that JR's immediate family is very calm and relaxed. And they're very they're not me. Right? So they're calm, and they have a different demeanor than myself and my family do. So it's just it was just something that I needed to get used to, and how I needed to just really learn that that's not their way. And that's okay, and that it's also okay for me to be in my own way. And so it was just adjusting my energy and my space around them, and that did take a while. That definitely took a while. Sometimes I'm still like, okay, I gotta go outside for a minute, because I can't always do it. But it's the same way when JR's around my family. He's got to have his own minute, because us being so big is too much for him. So when I met the rest of the Glimpse, and I realized, oh my God, they're just like me. I love this. It was great. And I was funny, because I realized how and why, because I would question sometimes, like, I don't understand, how are you so calm, and how did you fall in love with me? Like, how did you like me? Right? But then when I met the rest of the family, it made such sense. I'm like, oh, I remind you of these people. I give you a sense of home, or I give you a sense of family, and that was great for me. So I've never had this uncomfortable sense around anyone in the family. And of course, we have discussed some of those times that it was different, but there's really no adjustment with that. But I understand what Pooh means, as far as like sleeping anywhere, like you said, Al. I like sleeping in my own bed. Like even this weekend, we were gonna stay at my sister-in-law's house. She's 17 minutes away on the GPS. Let me tell you, I'm coming home to sleep in my bed. Seriously.
Yeah.
But because I like, I understand what it's like to be out of place and to feel out of place. And I've been in situations where I have felt out of place before. So I'm grateful that I don't with any of my in-laws. But I understand Pooh's feeling of, even at some of my own family members' house, I'm like, yeah, nah, I might go stay in a hotel. You know what I mean? Or it's not even that I'm uncomfortable if I want to go stay in a hotel. It just means I just might really just need that time to relax and be to myself, rather than be in someone else's bed. So I get that. I totally understand that.
So it's interesting that adjusting and feeling comfortable, because I think it's it requires not only you like kind of being yourself, but it also requires others and how they treat you, and are they willing to allow you to be yourself, or is there kind of these restrictions they're willing to put on you? And I think sometimes, the people might be opening up their arms faster than a person might be willing to be themselves, and sometimes that person is quicker to be themselves before the other people are willing to say, you know what, let's just accept this person for who they are, even though they are not like us, they're different. But when that happens and the person is comfortable and the people are opening their arms, it's a beautiful thing, because I think that's when you really are family. Like, not only are they embracing you as family, but you are seeing yourself as family enough to be yourself, even if that means I ain't sleeping here tonight. like I
Right.
think, family understands a person be like, well, all right, we ain't taking it personal. It ain't like you don't love us or you don't, it's just you like to sleep in your own bed, Al. All right, be safe. Text us when you get home. We know you're going to be driving 2:00 in the morning to get home. You done it before, and we know not to take it personal. And I think with my in-laws, we were so young when we dated and got married and started spending holidays together that I think there was also a sense of me having to prove myself in the sense of he here to stay. Like, cause he is very different than anything else we done seen her bring around here. So we ain't really sure how to process this dude, but you know what? He is here to stay, and let's start looking at him from that perspective. And I think I started being more comfortable knowing that, you know what? They're giving me a little grace here. So let me relax. Let me spend more time here and not crack so many jokes. So Keita, from your perspective, what's that experience been like? When you spend time on the holidays at Thomas's family over the years, what's that adjustment been like?
Mm-hmm. The adjustment has been very smooth. I'm kind of like an open, free spirit type of person, so nothing really like irritates me. Like with Thomas family, they're real nice. They're open. They, they even, I like the part where they know what my role is, you know what I'm saying? And they want me to participate in that role that I have with them. And when I say that, since I'm the wife, they feel like, I bring something, I help them cook, like I do this. Or even like with family reunions, they're like, no, you have to be involved, that kind of stuff. So they're that type of people. So I have no issues with adjusting with them. Now, as far as like staying, like how Thomas is saying with my family, I've never really did that with them because they're right there in Newberry and they just don't do that. Right, Thomas? They just, they have their little food, dinner. They don't do a lot of hanging out, none of that, and then they just, tell everybody goodbye and then that's it. It's really quiet. It's different from, my crazy family, but we still have a good time, It's not something where we spending the night. How Al, you were saying like how your family is like up all night. My family totally different. You admit if you don't spend the night with my family, you will miss the experience. That's how I put it, because they're up until like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And so that's what I was telling Thomas, because he was so into like not really feeling it, or we'll be there until like 2 o'clock, y'all. And he was like, you ready to go home? I'm like, no, who's leaving to go on the road this time of night? Is you crazy? I mean, we used to have like some real heated arguments because of that, because I never understood why he didn't want to stay, because my family, that's what we do. Even when we used to go as like kids to New York or Maryland, like to Baltimore, like that's what we do, hands down. They don't want you to go. They don't want you to stay in no hotel. They don't want you to do none of that. You at my house. So, but I didn't have, with Thomas family, I love them to death. No issues at all.
Okay. Anything else you want to add, Pooh, about it? What it's been like?
Oh man, that fam opened. I mean, they came at me with open arms. I've never heard anything ill, said about me. They've always embraced me. Her grandmother, like, she always cooked my favorite every time I come there. Even if she think I'm coming, she will tell Thomas I cook oxtails, this, that, and the third. So she always, goes above and beyond, for me. But it's just, I mean, and I absolutely love them, love them to death. But I just don't like staying the night, like, like one night if you pull my teeth 2 nights, but man,
Well, does it have anything to do with? I mean, what Keita described is how your family doesn't do a lot of spending the night.
yeah, of course.
Okay.
It has a lot. It has a lot to do with what I'm
Just the
accustomed
difference.
to.
Yeah.
Right. Because when I grew up, it was, and I might spend like one night at Jay house, like maybe once, or my homeboy house, but it was always Pooh always come home and don't eat at nobody's house, so I had to, if I ate at someone's house, like I had to sneak and eat, like. So if I ate at Jay's, but I had to eat at Miss Lorraine's because she was an excellent cook. So,
yes, she was.
So
yes, she is.
She is an excellent cook. Right. So I had to eat there, and then when I came home, I had to pretend like I didn't eat and eat my mom's dinner, because she would be totally upset. What I tell you about eating up people out? So it was just a total different upbringing. But like I said, I had wild fam, cousins, cars, drink, whatever. But it was just different about staying the night.
Yeah, it really is on the glimpse side of my family. It is really a mini family reunion that weekend.
Every single
Thanksgiving it's like where there's a conversation, usually in the summer, who's doing Thanksgiving this year, because we want to start getting our calendars right so we know where we traveling to. And it used to be a thing where, my uncles and aunts, they were hosting. And then, at some time the torch got passed and my generation started mixing it in and started hosting as well. Although I have an aunt that up until about 5 or 6 years ago, she was pretty insistent on this idea that it still should be at the elder's house. Like if y'all want to help and cook and do that, like, that's cool, but she kind of felt like their role was still, she ain't ready to give it up, right? So I thought that was interesting. I think it's kind of this sense of how do you manage the other's uncomfortableness? Like, so I know I sucked at it with my wife. Like, I just kind of pushed her in the pool when it came to being around the clips. It was just, yeah, push you in the ring. You good. They love you. I love you. Have fun. And early on, it wasn't a thing where I'm going to hang around you and make sure you good and comfortable. It was like, look, I'm going to hang over there with my cousins. You're welcome to come or not. But you at home here, make yourself at home. And so hearing it to being discussed tonight is like, that's just something that we just need to think about more. How do we help the other feel more comfortable around our family? But Jay, what you got to say? How's this experience been from your perspective?
Yeah, like I'm completely with you. Like, I don't like that with everybody. Even bringing friends around. Like, Pooh will tell you, like, when we be around something my family was having and he was with us, like, I wasn't trying to be like stuck with you just to make you feel comfortable. I was like, man, my family cool. Go eat, drink, enjoy yourself. They like you too. You know what I'm saying? And usually what ends up happening is because I'm so much more reserved than most of my family, except for with Pooh. Pooh's reserved like me. But if it was like Chad or my wife, lady, like, they more like my family than I am. So what ends up happening is I'm like, yeah, who the fuck my wife at? Oh, her and Alicia went to, like, she went with Alicia somewhere, and they've been gone for 8 hours. I don't know where they at. Or she would, and or she over there with Shayla, and they just, so she ended up hanging out with my family more than I do. So that's what ends up happening. Or like Chad shows up to family functions, and they were like, and I don't show up, and people call me like, yo, Chad was here. Well, how the fuck Chad at my family? So that's what ends up happening. So I'm with you on that. Is I assume that since I know how open and welcoming my family is, and they once they accept you family for life, I'm kind of like taking for granted that people are like, oh, they cool, I'm in. So you're right, we got to do better with that. But as for me with my wife's family, it was different because, there were layers of adjustments, cultural, communicative, You know, logistically, it was just stuff. And then people, being the fact that I am so reserved, people tend to take that as that I'm aloof, or that, you know, I don't like, you know, I'm not having a good time, or I don't. So I have to kind of keep telling people, you know, I have to hear this 19 million times during the day. You okay? You okay? And my wife will tell you how much I hate that. When people always feel like they have to check on me because I'm not like this big life of the party. No, I'm cool.
Right.
And so stop asking me if I'm okay. I'm good. But, you know, but people will tell you also, and Pooh knows this, we kind of alike in this sense, is that I'm okay. I can be in a room full of people and be in the room in a corner by myself, and I'm good. The same way I can if I'm having a drink with you and we having a full out conversation. Right. But you know, my wife's family, of course, like with any family, there are certain people that you gravitate to, and that people you just kind of bond with immediately. And Lay's uncle was immediately we started bonding. And then when I met her brothers, you know, we, you know, were really close, and and then like crazy, like. I might as well say my sister-in-law because they've been together for so long. But like we are, like
my
we
brother's
have,
woman,
right? But my sister-in-law, she
my
is.
sister-in-law.
Like we have these, you know, like there's always one person in the family that you can have these conversations with, and it's just like you can talk about anything, but there's always these like deep revolving conversations that kind of lead you down rabbit holes, and next thing you know, you've been talking for 3 hours. She's that person for me and her family. And so whenever we together, we, you know, whether we sober or we drunk, we gonna have some deep conversations, and usually it's when everybody else is over drunk and jumping fences, we over in the corner having some real good conversations. So there's that. But yeah, and I guess it's, you know, it's an adjustment anytime. Because my family, my Glint family, you know, there's been times where I had to go home, go to sleep, and come back after I get some rest because they still is getting it in. So, yeah, it's just, you know, it's an adjustment anytime you step outside of your norm.
It's funny you talk about how we just can't get enough of the family stuff because the Thanksgiving virtual Zoom call we had, most people got off the call at 8:30. Mm-hmm. There was another 5 or 6 of us that stayed on for another hour and a half. Right. And just shooting the shit. One of them was my uncle, and you know, how often do you get to shoot the shit with one of your elders? Other people were calling in like the damn call was scheduled for 9:30. I don't even understand that. How family, they just know y'all still. We knew y'all was still gonna be on the call, so we just called to say what's up. But that's what's up. Is at the end of the day, I think it is amazing. I think how families adopt and kind of blend and merge and accept the other as we bring this sense of different traditions and cultures into each other's holiday. I think that's cool. I think that we are still allowed to be individuals and stuff, even amongst the others, and people are accepting us for who we are. I think that's how it should be. Before I kind of wrap it up, I did mention to Jay, as we were talking about Christmas songs, I would like to get a sense of what's y'all favorite Christmas song. So I'm going to go first and give y'all a chance to either look one up, Google it, do something, right? But I think at this time of the year, it's kind of that shift where the people put the Thanksgiving behind them, and then really it happened the day after Thanksgiving, and for some even on Thanksgiving, and Christmas music starts to be played, Christmas decoration goes up, and people start talking Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever your end of the year holiday is. So I'm curious for each one of y'all, I'm gonna ask y'all what's your favorite holiday song. Mine is a song the artist is Charles Brown, and old 50s blues, like real slow song, and it's Please Come Home for Christmas. And they play it every year, and it's like it starts with these like chiming bells that please come, and it's my favorite song because it's a memory of my mother. She had this 8-track of this holiday album, Charles Brown's Holiday Blues. Now, who wants to hear blues and Christmas? It's really kind of a weird mix because it's kind of sad and melancholy, and you trying to. So I really think it was her way of mourning my father. Actually, now that I processed it as an adult, I think she would play this song, and maybe he liked it. I don't really know, but we would hear this 8-track over and over. It was on a loop, and as she would sing and cook, this is the one album she played. So in each of my siblings' memories and our favorite song, favorite holiday music, all of us are going to play this album at some point during our Christmas holidays. Like, that's just our tribute to our mother. So, JR, since you shared, me and you had the conversation, I'm going to come to you next. What's your favorite Christmas song?
Well, I love that Charles Brown song, by the way. That's a dope Christmas song. I'm a blues guy. I have, since, it's probably one of my favorite artists of all time, this Christmas, and it has to be the Donny Hathaway version. Donny Hathaway is my guy. My wife will tell you how, she'll hear, if I'm in the shower, you'll hear me blaring any Donny Hathaway song at any given time, and I'm singing like I'm in my own concert. This Christmas by Donny Hathaway, hands down.
Got you. Love that song too. I mean, there's so many different renditions of that song, but his is an amazing one as well. Ladine, what's your favorite?
I don't really know if I have the only thing that comes to mind is when we were little, my mom used to always play the Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas. It's serious. They had a Christmas album and she would play that for us when we would put up the Christmas tree. And I know it sounds funny, but I loved it. I was an Alvin and the Chipmunks fanatic growing up. I loved it. And that's like the only thing that like really sticks out in my head. You got to remember, for me, like I'm a New York Puerto Rican. Like, we listen to so much music in my family. We listen to, salsa, merengue. So there's Spanish Christmas carols and stuff that we used to listen to. But then my parents were born and raised in the Bronx, so they're very big on like 70s music, and like I know all those oldies but goodies. And then so it's just and then we grew up on freestyle music and shit. So my parents played just a lot of music around the holidays. I mean, all the time. There wasn't really like anything that stuck out. That Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas album, though, that is probably the one that sticks out. If my mom did play, like, I remember just carols always in the background during the holidays. I don't know who sang them. I'm not good with stuff like that. I don't know who sang them. I don't know. I just know that there were just always carols in the background. So yeah, I guess I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm a bring up Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I don't have a favorite. I'm not going to say that's my favorite. That's just the one
that comes to mind.
Yeah, it's the one that comes to mind. And I'm not going to say it's my favorite, but that's the one that comes to mind because every time we would put up the Christmas tree, and that was one of my favorite things to do. My mom makes Christmas ornaments. And so, like, I have Christmas ornaments on my tree that are all hand painted by my mom. Do you know what I mean? And all the Christmas ornaments on our tree were all hand painted. And every year, she would get new ones. It was exciting. So I just always remember that playing in the background. Like, I love putting up the Christmas tree. Yeah. So that's it.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
I definitely don't have a favorite though. But go ahead.
I'm leaving it alone. Kita, what's your favorite Christmas song?
As Jay took my favorite Christmas song.
Hey, it's so good. It could be both our favorites.
I'm Donnie, but my family, we're music people. Like any Christmas songs, but I like when Chris Brown did the, his This Christmas Too. That's a nice one. But we used to play oldies too. Remember James Brown, Santa Claus, Go Straight to the Ghetto.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Great one.
That's a good one. Drinking your brown liquor, having a good time.
Nice. A holiday should be.
They used to play that a lot, and definitely, Michael Jackson. So it's all of them. But Donny Hathaway is my favorite one. This Christmas.
Yeah, it's that, the holiday music, even if you're not in the mood, because there are some holiday seasons where I haven't been in the mood, but there's something about that holiday music that can get me into the holiday season. Like I have, on my way up to New York, I have left Atlanta in a funky foul mood. Like, I can't believe it's Christmas. And then like listen to like an hour's worth of Christmas music at some point during the trip. And by the time I get up there, I'm like, all right, what we doing? Where we going? So it can change your energy. So Pooh, wrap us up, man, in terms of these songs. What's your favorite holiday song?
Man. Oh man,
Tupac, A Thug's Life Christmas.
Go ahead.
California love.
Hey, if it's Christmas, we thugging. Otis Redding is my guy, man. Merry Christmas, baby. It's something about Otis Redding. Otis Redding is my guy. So
that's a good one. I
Christmas,
forgot about that one.
Right. Charles Brown did he did that song too, Merry Christmas, baby.
Okay.
That's another song that's on that album. So I mean, I can just still see my mom documenting again and playing that album. So, but co-host, this is the end of the show. I hope I represented my wife well and didn't embarrass her too much, but
I think you did a good job, Al.
Yeah,
thank you.
You acquitted yourself quite nicely, sir.
Okay. Made up for that bad experience. But hopefully I channeled her energy and listening and moderating skills and did a good job. But at the end of the day, I appreciate y'all sharing your holidays, and because these, while they are tough for some, I think at the end of the day, they are opportunity for family, fellowship, bonding, and new memories. And can, even when they are low moments, if we can remember that it's not really about consumption and it's not really about just excess, but it's really just about being with family and friends and the good food and just being thankful. I think hopefully that can allow to fuel you and get you out of the bad spots. And hopefully our show can be that type of fuel to get you out of the dull spots in the week and be an uplift. So on that, I'll say peace and good night.
Peace.
Night.
All right.
Good night.
One eye.
We're told that greatness is exceptional when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life Gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.